So Whoopi Goldberg, you know her. You probably don't love her, at least not since she was Guinan on Star Trek. Although I felt like she didn't fit the role. I don't imagine Whoopi Goldberg as a wise, powerful being. But she's gotten in trouble. Why did she get in trouble? Well, she apparently thinks that all white people are exactly the same and that white-on-white violence doesn't matter, which doesn't surprise me. She said something along the lines of about the Holocaust being, it's not, it wasn't about race. So, and we'll get into this subject matter more deeply here. But to Whoopi Goldberg, you know, it isn't. There isn't a racial component because Larry Elder is white. Candace Owens is white, according to the woke. Because their ideology is not in alignment with the woke, so therefore they must not be black. They have to be white. Because only white people would not agree with the woke, right? So, anyway, let's get into this article here, and we'll see what's up with Whoopi. Whoopi Goldberg's co-host reportedly furious over suspension from The View. What the heck happened? Whoopi Goldberg got suspended from The View? What is happening to this world where one of the people who is definitely woke and supports the woke agenda is on a woke channel gets suspended from that woke channel? How is that even possible? That's making sense to me. Thank you for stopping by and welcome back to my channel. I do appreciate everybody supporting my work. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we're going to take a look at this article and discuss Whoopi Goldberg and her loose lips that sink ships. Whoopi Goldberg's co-hosts on The View are furious at ABC for suspending the embattled personality over her claim that the Holocaust was not about race, according to a report. Okay, that's not a terrible thing to say. Might be wrong, but it's not terrible. ABC News President Kim Goodwin announced late Tuesday that, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. Oh my gosh. She's got to reflect on her comments. A poor woman. Oh, it's so terrible. Really? Wrong and hurtful comments? What did she say? What was it that she said? Well, we're going to find out. Goldberg, 66, made the eyebrow-raising claim on Monday's program, insisting that Nazis and Jews were both white. She then repeated the statement on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert that evening. That's what she said, that Nazis and Jews were both white. Okay. I've known some Jewish people in my life, more than one. And when I ask them about this sort of thing, they're like, yeah, I guess I'm white, whatever. They don't even care. And if you really think about it, I mean, how different are white people from Jewish people? If you look at this picture here, we got Joy Behar right here, right next to Whoopi Goldberg. This is her. If that is her natural hair color, then she's more white than I am. She has red hair. That's something that white people do. I don't have red hair. So I don't know what to tell you about that other than maybe there's not much difference between Jewish people and white people. But now, if you look into this, the Hitler did say that the Jews were a race, but they weren't even human. So it was about race according to the Nazis. But we can look back at this and go, yeah, there's not really enough of a difference between Jewish people and white people to consider them a separate race. Potentially, we could say that. And maybe that's where Whoopi Goldberg is coming from. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a dog in this fight because it doesn't really matter to me that Whoopi Goldberg got suspended. In fact.
And now the Estrogen Network presents Afternoon Yak.
Man.
Canceled.
There's my feelings on it. It's so ridiculous to think that Whoopi Goldberg is getting canceled from Disney Network because she is 100% on the woke train. The host walked back the remarks on Twitter later that night amid widespread outrage. As Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League shared, the Holocaust was about the Nazis' systemic annihilation of the Jewish people, who they deemed to be an inferior race. I stand corrected, she wrote. Okay. So maybe she didn't know, so she's just admitting she didn't know. In an email to ABC staffers, Goodwin praised Goldberg for her apology and inviting Anti-Defamation League CEO Greenblatt on Tuesday's show to discuss her offensive remarks. However, Goldberg's suspension came as some ABC insiders insisted that her apology wasn't enough and demanded she be fired. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's actually reasonable. Because Gina Carano, we all know Gina Carano, right? She was playing a character on The Mandalorian. And she said something that is way less offensive than this could potentially be. She said the Nazis couldn't have done it without the help of everyday citizens. She didn't use those words, but that's what she said. And she was fired. Disney canned her, kicked her off the show. So why is it that they're not just outright getting rid of Goldberg? Well, my guess is Whoopi votes the right way, or at least she appears to vote the right way. And Gina Carano does not. So Goldberg is safe because she's an innocent Democrat. If she says something wrong, she's a victim. You know, oh, she didn't mean it. She's just a victim. We can give her a second chance. But Gina Carano said, oh, she's one of those evil, indoctrinated white people, even though she's not white. But she's definitely not woke either. So people are really upset and don't understand why it took 2 days, an ABC executive told Daily Beast. I heard it was only 1 day in a different article, but whatever. Still, other network insiders told the outlet that Goldberg's co-hosts, Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Ana Navarro, are furious that she was suspended. Again, I'm going to give you this.
And now the Estrogen Network presents Afternoon Yak.
Man.
Canceled.
And it should have happened to all of them. The whole show should just be gotten rid of. It's so much crap. And another thing that proves how disgusting this is that Whoopi Goldberg is talking about a race, right? So-called race of people. And it's not the black race, and it's not the Hispanic race, and it's not the Muslim race, even though Muslim is not a race. But what did Osborne say on the show a few years back? She basically thinks it's all right to forcibly remove men's reproductive organs without anesthesia and then take those reproductive organs and put them into a garbage disposal and turn it on. And all she had to do was make a public apology for that, and she was fine. So we know who they don't like the most, and that is men, because basically nothing happened to Osborne when she said that. But now we have this, oh, it's about a race. Oh, and it's the Jewish race. Oh, those people. Then you must be punished. I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love The View, Navarro told the Daily Beast on Tuesday evening. Yeah, Navarro is an idiot, so. This was an incredibly unfortunate incident. Whoopi is a lifelong ally to the Jewish community, is she? I mean, she does have the name Goldberg, so that's a Jewish name. She's not an anti-Semite, period. I am sad, and I have nothing else to say, okay? On Tuesday's show, Greenblatt told Goldberg that there's no question that the Holocaust was about race. Literally, the first page of Maus, the book you were talking about yesterday, Whoopi, opens with a quote from Hitler. And literally it says, the Jews undoubtedly are a race, but they are not human. There you go. There's that quote from Hitler. We're talking about this Maus book here. Let's see. Whoopi Goldberg argued that the Holocaust went beyond race during a discussion about the Tennessee school district decision to ban Maus. Oh, the Tennessee school district decided it was going to ban Maus? Take a look at that in a moment here when we get through this article. This article's not very long. We're almost done with it. But I do think the Holocaust went beyond race because they were also exterminating gypsies, what they consider gypsies. Well, I'm part Romanian. My grandmother immigrated here from Romania before the Holocaust, fortunately. So I'm white. You know, I'm very much white. In fact, Hitler had dark hair and dark eyes. I have dark hair and dark eyes, light skin, just like same race as me if you look at us. But that's the thing is people want to break it down and say you're this different race, you're this different race, and so on and so forth. It's ridiculous because if I were to stand up a bunch of people that look just like me in skin tone and hair color and eye color and say, oh yeah, all these people, they're a different race from me. It's like, dude, they're the same race as you. What are you talking about? We all understand that race is this is such a nebulous concept anymore. It's becoming so ridiculous. There's one race. It's actually there's only one human race. That's the human race. Yeah, you can find some genetic differences if you look at somebody who's obviously from a different race. You can gather all of them up and say, okay, you guys all have this one difference in genetics. It's compared to this other group that looks similar. But that's not enough to really, because it's going to be a tiny difference. It's not going to be anything major. I mean, chimpanzees are 99% the same as humans, and they're definitely way different from humans. So he added, Hitler's ideology was predicated on the idea that the Jews were a subhuman race. It was a racialized anti-Semitism. Okay. Goldberg first argued that the Holocaust went beyond race during a discussion on The View about a Tennessee school district's decision to ban Maus, a Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust survivor. Oh, interesting. Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race, she said repeatedly. It's about man's inhumanity to man. On Tuesday night, Greenblatt appeared on CNN, where he told anchor Don Lemon that he couldn't comment on ABC News' internal process, but that he hoped Goldberg would use the next 2 weeks for a process of introspection and learning. When Lemon mentioned that some people believe ABC overreacted by suspending Goldberg, Greenblatt said, we sometimes have people in public places who can say clumsy things about race or faith or gender. Yeah, you have people say things that they don't mean or say things that are slightly off. Who cares? Get over it and move on. I don't believe in cancel culture. Well, you just canceled Whoopi, at least temporarily. I like the phrase that my friend Nick Cannon uses. We need cancel culture. Okay. We shouldn't cancel Whoopi because she made a mistake, he said. Well, you canceled Gina Carano, so, I heard Whoopi say that she's committed to doing better. I accept that apology with the sincerity with which she delivered it. Greenblatt added, you know, this is so ridiculous. You can't even speak anymore without getting in trouble. It's so outrageously stupid. People need to stop. They just need to stop freaking out over words. Words really don't mean anything. They're only there to convey ideas. That's it. I should be able to sit up here and throw every racial epithet out there in the entire world, and everybody out there in the entire world should be able to throw those racial epithets right back at me. They should be able to call me any kind of derogatory racial name that they want to. I don't care. And I should be able to do the same to other people. It doesn't matter. They're words. Get over it. And you know, if we did that, nobody would care anymore. And people would stop using those words. And when people did use them, it would be like, okay, so you're talking about this thing and we can talk about those ideas. That's what it should be about. It's about talking about ideas. It's not about going, oh my gosh, your words offended me. You hurt my fifis because you said something. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, they're words. Did those words get you into trouble? Did those words get you into prison, or, you know, were they lies? That's a different story. But if you're just saying things, if you're saying your sincere beliefs, saying, look, I saw this and this is what happened. And especially if you know for sure, you're like, hey, you know, I saw this thing happen, it was really weird. And I emphatically know that this is true. And even if it does damage somebody, then, I mean, you know, maybe that should damage them because they maybe were breaking the law or something. Let's look at this Holocaust book. Tennessee school district bans Holocaust novel Mouse over violent profanity. This is not actually a banning. A Tennessee school district has banned the Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust over its violence, nudity, and swearing. The McMinn County School Board voted unanimously to remove Art Spiegelman's book Mouse from classrooms on January 10th, according to the meeting minutes. Okay, well, that's removing it from the classroom. That's not a banning. It's not like you can't bring the book to school. You're just not allowed to teach the book. You're not allowed to show the book around. The book, completed in 1991, tells the story of the author's father and his experiences as a Holocaust survivor in comic book form. Interesting. The school board cited its graphic scenes and profanity as among its objections to the reading. I am not denying it was horrible, brutal, and cruel, school board member Tony Alman said of the Nazi genocide that killed 6 million Jews. He argued that the book should be censored to make it more palatable. It's like when you're watching TV and a cuss word or nude scene comes on. It would be the same movie without it, he said. Not necessarily. It depends. I mean, it might be integral to the story. Now, do I think this book should be shared in schools? Potentially, if it is actually something that will help students understand how horrendous the Holocaust was. But it shouldn't be shared with little kids. It should be shared on a high school level. I would say 16 and up is probably okay at this point, because we're getting into areas where people can understand what nudity is and not be like, oh my gosh, I saw a naked body, I'm going to freak out. Of course, people still freak out when they're adults and they see a naked body. It's like, get over yourselves. It's a naked body. Everybody has one. So unless you were born blind, hey, guess what you saw? A naked body. And then the profanity thing, you know, people hear swear words all through their lives. All of the time, you can just walk down the street and hear people yelling out cuss words at each other. So people are overreacting to words. People are overreacting to imagery, to artwork. This is so ridiculous. As an artist, I find this highly, highly offensive that you would say that, hey, nudity in an image is inappropriate for children. The naked body is nothing to be ashamed of. Even little children can see the naked body and be fine. I mean, what's the big deal? I don't understand this. I just really don't understand the United States aversion to nudity. I understand the aversion to sexually explicit content, but nudity is just nudity. It's just a body. Who cares? Maybe I'm missing something. Go down in the comments and let me know what you think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Please let me know what you think down there. I really appreciate when you guys do comment. It does make me happy to see all the comments that I get. But anyway, that's all I got for this time. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video.